You lie down in bed, the lights are off, but inside your head, it gets louder. Thoughts jump from what if to I should have, like your mind is loading one open browser tab after another, and you wonder, why can't I just shut it off? The truth is, your brain isn't broken. It's overactive because it's trying to protect you, not because you think too much. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why your mind can't find peace and how to finally lead it to where silence begins. You might believe your mind is your enemy, torturing you with endless thoughts, but in reality, it's only trying to keep you safe. Your mind never shuts down because it's constantly scanning for danger, even when there's none. It was programmed in a world where silence meant danger and thinking meant survival. Today, there are no wild animals left to hunt, but your brain still chases emails, expectations, memories. So the problem isn't that you think too much, it's that you never learned not to react. Peace doesn't begin when you stop thinking, but when you start observing your thoughts without following them. It usually starts without you noticing. You wake up, your body is still, but your mind is already running. Before you even take your first sip of coffee, you're planning, comparing, remembering something you could have done better yesterday. Your mind works like an algorithm that never takes a break. Psychologically, this comes from what's called mental vigilance, a leftover from evolution. Your brain wants to protect you by predicting every possible threat, even when that threat is only a thought. That's why it replays scenarios, analyzes conversations, makes plans. And that's what keeps you trapped. You're not restless because you're weak. You're restless because your nervous system still believes that thinking means control. Imagine your mind as a computer with too many tabs open. It's not working because it has to. It's working because you never click close. The solution isn't to delete every thought at once, but to look at the screen for a moment without typing. Just notice what's there. Breathe. Feel that you don't have to follow every thought. When you do that, even for a few breaths, something small inside you becomes quiet. And right there, in that tiny space between thought and reaction, peace begins. Finding peace doesn't mean your thoughts disappear. It means they lose their power. Your brain produces over 60,000 thoughts a day. It's like a radio station that never goes silent. But the problem isn't the noise, it's your constant attention to it. From a neuroscience perspective, your mind reacts to every thought as if it were real. When you think, I failed, your brain fires the same stress signals as if you were in real danger. Cortisol rises, your pulse quickens. Your body prepares to run, even though you're just lying in bed. The key is not to turn the radio up. Imagine sitting in a room full of voices. If you try to silence them, they only shout louder. But when you start letting them talk without trying to control them, they lose their power. Observe them, without judgment, like clouds passing by. Then breathe. Just 1 minute for yourself. No phone, no goal, no thought that needs to win. In that minute, your nervous system changes. It begins to understand that nothing urgent is happening. And the more often you do this, the quieter that radio in your head becomes. It's not a fight. It's a return to yourself. The quieter you become, the louder everything you've been drowning out starts to appear. Old worries, unfinished conversations, small fears you've pushed aside because you had to keep going. When you start calming your mind, all of it surfaces. And this is where many people give up. They think it's a setback. In truth, it's healing. Your brain is releasing stored tension, like a muscle finally stretching after years of tightness. Neuropsychologically, something crucial happens. The limbic system, your emotional center, begins to synchronize with the prefrontal cortex. Emotion and reason reconnect. You start to feel clearer and think calmer. At first, it feels uncomfortable because silence reveals everything you've been avoiding. But if you stay, if you breathe and don't run away, you realize the wave fades. You're no longer led by your thoughts. You lead them. Imagine your mind as a lake. As long as you keep throwing stones into it, the water stays restless. But if you just sit and watch, it clears on its own. In that clarity, you realize peace isn't something you have to achieve. It was always there, beneath the surface. Many people try to force peace with meditation, breathing exercises, music, or apps. But true peace doesn't come from control. It comes from letting go. Your brain can't relax when you're trying to make it relax, because the attempt to be calm is just another thought, another form of activity. The nervous system doesn't understand commands, only states. When you say, I have to calm down now, your body only hears the word have to and tenses up. That's why mental peace doesn't start in the mind, but in the body. As soon as you focus on your breath, your shoulders, your stomach, you send your brain a new signal. I'm safe. The parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, activates. Your heartbeat and breathing synchronize. The cascade of thoughts slows down. You can feel it right away. The pressure in your chest eases. Your forehead relaxes. The space inside you widens. It's like flipping an inner switch from reaction to presence. And suddenly, you realize thoughts still come, but they no longer hit you. They drift by like leaves on a river while you sit on the shore and breathe. That's where true mental freedom begins. Over time, you realize that peace isn't a goal to reach. It's a state you return to. There will be days when your mind gets loud again, when worries keep you awake and old thoughts resurface. But the difference is this. Now you notice. Before, you were the chaos. Now you observe it. In psychology, this is called metacognitive distance, the ability to see your thoughts without becoming them. Your brain learns that not every impulse requires action, and not every voice in your head is right. The more often you practice this, the stronger the new pattern becomes. Think of your awareness like a muscle. Before, it trained reflexes. Now it trains perception. It doesn't take hours of meditation, just moments of return. 1 minute to pause. 1 minute to feel, I'm here. These short pauses gradually reshape your brain's architecture. New neural connections form, storing peace not as an exception, but as a baseline. So you don't become someone who has no thoughts. You become someone who's free from them. At some point, you start to understand. Your mind was never your enemy. It never wanted to destroy you. It just wanted to protect you in its clumsy way. Every thought, every fear, every repetition was an attempt to hold on to control in a world that moves too fast. But control doesn't bring safety. It only steals peace. Peace begins when you stop fighting your mind and start talking to it. Say to it, thank you for watching over me. You can rest now. It might sound strange, but your nervous system responds to such inner words as if they were real comfort. Your body softens, your pulse slows, your breathing deepens, and suddenly you realize it was never about creating silence. It was about allowing it. It was always there, beneath all the noise. You just had to stop drowning it out. Maybe tomorrow you'll think again, worry again, struggle again, but now you know how to come back. And that's the difference between someone who lives in their head and someone who lives in the present. If you recognize yourself in these words, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle every day with a mind that never rests. If you feel these thoughts follow you, and you want to learn how to calm them, then subscribe to this channel. Here, you'll learn how to understand your mind instead of fighting it. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time your mind was truly quiet? Your answer might help someone else find the same. When your mind never stops, you don't need a complicated method. You need small rituals of return, things that bring you closer to yourself, not further away. Here's your 2-minute daily plan. Minute 1. Awareness. As soon as you wake up, notice the first thought that appears. Before you grab your phone, before you start comparing yourself, quietly say to yourself, I'm already here. It's not a mantra, it's a reminder. You begin the day not with doing, but with being. Minute 2. Letting go. At night, when you feel your mind racing again, place your hand on your chest and breathe deeply. Feel that life keeps flowing anyway. You haven't missed anything. You haven't lost anything. This moment is enough. If you practice these 2 minutes daily, something invisible begins to change. Your nervous system starts associating safety with stillness. The inner restlessness loses its grip, and thoughts become background noise. Over time, you'll realize you don't need to control the world to feel safe. You just need to return.